Yo, what's up my people? This is your boy Kaka Janito USA and welcome to this awesome and beautiful channel. Karibuni sana, welcome guys. And now guys, guess what? Today guys, I have good news because many people have been asking issues concerning marriage, how to get marriage certificate, how do you come to USA as a married couple, how do you legalize your marriage, what do you do, what is required in legalizing the marriage, and what are the process and the steps taken in this story concerning marriage. And now guys, I want to teach you, I want to tell you what you do and how you do it, and what is legalizing this marriage, and what are the various ways of coming to USA as a married couple with a certificate and legally married. So if you had all those questions concerning marriage, today I'm gonna deal with that, and also I'll be dealing with the part consent letters, because many people have been asking, what if I separated with my husband, or what if I separated with my wife, or how do I get this consent letter, and what is required, what is the consent letter, what does it entails, what does it have, and how do we write it. So today I'm gonna be dealing with this information, so I'll be giving you all these details concerning marriage and concerning the consent letters and all issues marriage. So guys, don't touch that dial, enjoy. It's your boy Kaka Jonito USA. Welcome. So my guys, to start with, I want to say this. What is a marriage? Marriage is where a man and a woman come together and decide to live as a husband and wife, and there are various ways in which that is consummated and is legalized. All right, so I want to start with the first one, which is a traditional wedding. You may have a traditional wedding depending on your community, depending on your culture and stuff, so that is still a marriage. But for it now to be legalized, you need to go through the government for you to get the papers for your marriage to be legalized. And how do you do that? That's what I want to teach you today, how you do it and how you legalize your marriage. Because at the end of it all, even if you do your traditional wedding, for instance a Gikuyu wedding or Kamba wedding, or just any kind of wedding, it doesn't add up to legalization if the government is not included, or if the government is not inclusive in issuing up the certificate. So I want to teach you how you get to this, and what are the required documents that you need for you to certify your marriage, and the steps you take for you to certify your marriage. The number two kind of marriage is whereby you go to a church and you announce you are having a wedding after you find your fiancé, that is the man to be or the woman to be your wife. So you come together and you decide you're gonna do a wedding. So now there the church will organize a very nice wedding for you guys, and you'll be having now this organization of the wedding ceremony. So here is the church that take part in terms of getting the certificate for you, because they give you a serial number, and now this serial number is what you now use in application of your marriage. So I'll be letting you know how you do all these things. Then that is now about the church. So that's how it goes. They give you a serial number, you go apply with it, and then I'll let you know how it goes. And then the other kind of marriage is whereby you and the person you're marrying, you decide, you know what, we are married, and so what we're going to do, we're going to the AG, and we want to get this thing done. So the first thing before you go to the AG, you'll have to go to a cyber cafe, or even go to your to online, and you can be able to file this yourself, because we have in Kenya we have what you call the eCitizen. So you can go through your eCitizen. If you don't have an account there, you can create an account there. Then when you go to the eCitizen, there is what we call the registrar of marriage. So in that part where we have the registrar of marriage in the eCitizen, that's where now you're gonna fill or file for a marriage. All right, that's where you're gonna fill in and apply for a marriage certificate. So there are steps that you take, there are things that you are required, and there is steps that go through. So it's not something that just happened in one day. It's something that has phases. That means it has step 1, step 2, and step 3. So I want to let you know how you do this, and I want to simplify all these matters to you. So for instance, maybe you just got married, where maybe you found a lady, and you know what, and you decided you're going to marry, and you guys started living together. Years passed by, and you got kids, and now you have applied for green card, and you don't know, what am I going to do? How am I going to legalize my marriage? Is it too late for me? No, I want to tell you that there is ways for each and every person. So I'm going to give you the ways that you're going to do, and I'm going to tell you the simple ways in which you're going to legalize your marriage, and in which you're going to have a marriage certificate. All right, so you can come to USA as a married couple, and without troubles, without worries, and with your family, without leaving any man behind. All right, so let's dig to one at a time, and let's start with the one with church. So let's say you're going to this church, and now you and your fiance are planning to have a wedding. So you go talk to your pastors and the people, or the men in charge in the church. So you tell them you want to do the wedding and stuff. So what they do is that they'll give you a serial number, and in this serial number, when you go to the eCitizen, this is where now you're going to check where we have the marriage registrar, or the registrar of marriage. And now in this registrar of marriage, you're going to use that serial number to book for to start reporting for your marriage, or to file for a marriage certificate. So there are these processes whereby now you need to have some documents. Which are these documents that you need? So in the whole of this process, there are 3 documents that you need. The first one is your ID. Your ID is the number 1 thing. Then the number 2 thing is your birth certificate. You need your birth certificate, and you need your ID. And then the number 3 thing that you need is a photo passport. A photo passport, that is a photo passport, 2 photo passports for you, and 2 photo passports for your fiance. All right, and also your ID, your fiance's ID, and both of your birth certificates. All right, that's step number 1. So assuming now you're using the church, they're gonna give you a serial number, and of course you're gonna use this to the register of marriage. And then after you file it, you're gonna check, there are some steps into which they take you. So the first step, after they receive your documents, they check all the documents and see that all the documents are right and they're correct. Then after checking the documents, the number 2 thing that they do is, now you have reported that you're filing for a marriage certificate. So the number 2 thing you're going to do, you're coming back, and now you're going to make the wedding cards. So after you make the wedding cards, these are the cards that you use to invite people. Now you'll send these cards to the registrar of marriage together with the other documents, so that they can verify all these documents. And now you will have announced that there is a wedding that is happening, and if there's anybody in the midst that doesn't want this wedding to happen, they have days into which they can say, no, this wedding should not continue. So now when you make a wedding card, now you send this to the registrar of marriage, and after that they take these documents, and after they verify and everything is fine, then you are allowed to pay 600. This is the registration money for the same, that is for the process to start. So when you pay this registration money, they give you 21 days. So when they give you these 21 days, they give you these 21 days to observe, and for people, if there's anybody who is in contradiction to this matrimonial ceremony that is gonna happen, they have that time to stop the wedding, or to stop the event from happening. So after these 21 days, and they have verified everything is right, then The next thing that you'll do is that you'll go to the registrar of marriage, and they'll give you a day for your interview. And then this day of interview, you're gonna go with of course with your fiance, and they're gonna interview you and ask you the obvious questions concerning you two, and if you are okay, if you decided to move ahead with the marriage, if you still wanna continue, or there's anyone who is backing off and stuff, that kind of interview to get to know all these things. And then after they verify that you guys are okay, he'll tell you to go ahead and pay for the certificate. That is around 2,700. You will come now and wait for the day of marriage. That's the day of the wedding. And after you do your wedding, now you're given the certificates to sign in front of people, and everybody celebrates to see the union. So the registrar of marriage, after verifying your document and after giving you an interview, the next thing he does is that he asks you to pay for your certificates. So you're given your certificates, and you pay around 2,700 for all that processes. Okay, so that's how you do it. And then you come later and now do your wedding as per the organization of the church. All right, so that is concerning that is number one part of marriage, now dealing or concerning with the church. All right, so we are done with the church, we are done with the wedding part and how you do the wedding and the whole process. So let's do the other one. Let's take the traditional wedding. So with the traditional wedding, this is whereby every community have their own ways of doing their marriage. They have their own ways of paying the bride price and stuff, all these kind of things. And after all that, all the ceremony of bride price is done, and you do your wedding, depending on which community you're coming from. Then they let you live as a husband and wife, and everybody celebrate that you guys are married, and that is allowed and is accepted. But also remember, now if you want to come to USA, you need to officiate your marriage, whereby you will have a government document, that is a marriage certificate. So the thing you'll need is your ID, your birth certificate, and those two photos, that is photo passports for you and for your fiance, or for you and for your wife, because already you are married. So it's you as the husband and the wife. All your documents, the ID, the photo passports, and also the birth certificate. Also go through the eCitizen. This is the easiest way of of applying for marriage certificate. Go to the eCitizen, go to registrar of marriage, and then book or file for that, and follow the whole step or follow the whole process. So after you file for that, already you're married. So the next thing, if this is the verification of documents, and after verification of documents, the same process will happen to you. And now you guys will need also to have like two people to come to be witnesses that you guys are getting married. So your wedding will happen at the AG's office. So what will happen after they give you the interview day, and if you go on the interview, now they give you the go ahead that you pay for your marriage certificate. You go ahead and pay for the marriage certificate. Then they let you know the day of officiating your marriage. So that day you'll need to come to have two witnesses at least to come and sign for you for the marriage certificates. They must be signed. And now after they sign the marriage certificate, you are given your marriage certificate, and that is done. So you are legally married. So it can happen just within that room. You're just 4 people or 5 people, that is you and your wife and your 2 buddies who are the witnesses and the AG, and that is a wedding. So that's how you get your certificate, and boom, you can come to the USA as married couple, and without a fear of any question that will be asked. Are you guys married? What are the documents? What is it? Blah blah blah, right? Because just saying that you did a traditional wedding without having the papers, that one doesn't really add up. So you must have the papers too. So even if you did a traditional wedding, go and officiate your marriage. All right. So the number 3 kind of marriage is whereby you and your wife just got married, just Yeah, you did not do any traditional wedding, you did not go to do a church wedding, you just got married, just found, oh, this is my rib, oh, this is my rib, and you guys decided and you got married, and you've been living together maybe even for 10 years or 15 years or 5 years, 3 years, 2 years, an year. But now you have filed for green card, and you, after filing for green card, you have successfully been selected, and you are like, oh, so how are we going to officiate our marriage? What have we needed to do? The same process. All right, so you just need your birth certificate, 2 photo passport for you and your hubby, and also you need to have your birth certificate and your ID. All right, do the same process. Go to eCitizen, go to the registrar of marriage, and apply there. All right, then you'll be given a day. Again, you'll also need to have like 2 witnesses, and they come and witness and sign for you in the marriage certificate, and you'll be given your marriage certificate, and you'll be good to go. So one thing that I'll warn you guys is that this process takes time, and because it takes time, you need to do it as early as you can, because you cannot just wait when you have like 1 month, and that's when you just want to say I want this marriage. Because remember, if you're waiting for 21 days, that's almost 1 month. So you can imagine, you file today, then you go get maybe 7 days, they ask you to pay for the 600, you pay the 600, they verify the documents, then they give you 21 days. So you find that you can take up to 2 months for you to get a marriage certificate. So the best thing I can advise you guys is that go as early as you can. Do this marriage certification as early as you can, because remember, some people also have issues with documents. This a certification of marriage, you also need to have documents, and all your documents should be aligning to each other, because if your documents have issues, then you'll have issues in the registrar. Because as maybe, for example, for the man, you have maybe in your ID you don't have your father's name, and in your birth certificate you have your father's name, and in your ID you use your mother's name, or your mother's name as the surname, then you'll have issues. They'll be like, these documents are not adding up. So all these kind of issues is that you need to know that your documents are adding up, like they are into synchrony. That means that all your documents have the right names, everything is correct, and nothing is misspelled or such kind of things, because it can give you issues. Just as we said in application of green card, ensure that your documents have the same names. But in this case, it's better to start early, because the process is long and sometimes it's tedious. So you need to start as early as you can, because the process is not something that you just say it can happen within a few days. It's something that can take long. It can take a month or 2. All right, so do it as early as you can. So concerning now moving ahead, let's move to those people now say, okay, I was married, I divorced my wife, and we have a kid, and I want to go with my child to the United States of America. What do I do? How do I get this consent letter, and what is this consent letter? So consent letter is basically a letter that is written by the better half, that is baby daddy or baby mama. Use the baby mama. She accepts to give you the baby daddy, the child to go with, and she gives all the prescription or the description of the child. If the child takes medicine, she gives all this kind of explanation, and also she allows and says for how long she allows you to go with the child, what are the terms and conditions, anything that can happen. Like they just give an agreement, and then she hands you the letter or the agreement copy or the agreement letter. So some people are asking, must it have a lawyer? Okay, it doesn't necessarily must have a lawyer, because it has all the details of the mother and the signatures of the mother and the phone numbers and the the details of the mother. So if they want to reach out, they can reach out and verify that this information is true. But if you have a lawyer and you want to put the stamp and stuff, it's also good. It's also officiate the document. So I'm gonna put this, I'll be putting this kind of a sample of a consent letter so that you guys can see and know what is a consent letter, how does it look like, and what are the terms and conditions, what are the things that are written in this consent letter, how do you draft a consent letter in case you need one. So I'll be dropping this also for you guys to know. So maybe for instance, this is for people who have separated with their better halves, or with their wives, or with their husband, and they want to go with their children, or something of that sort. So that's how you do it. And also something else, if you never mentioned a child, you never mentioned you have a child during the application, when it comes to the interview, don't dare mention you have a child, because if you mention you have a child and you never mention when you're applying, then you'll get a disqualification. So I'm applying as a married and applying with children, and you don't include them in the application, just forget them even in the interview, and just forget trying to mention something of that sort, because it can lead to cancellation. All right, so a consent letter. Now this is what a consent letter looks like. You can see letter of consent to travel, and then you can see the details there. You can see the one parent writing all the details concerning the child, and that she has agreed that the child can travel. So that's basically what a consent letter is. So that's all I had for the stories concerning marriages and marriage certificates and consent letters for today. I'll be bringing all this information, and also there are some many questions that people have been asking, and I want to put them down and I want to answer them, all of them, in a video form, so that if you have similar questions, if you have similar issues, you can learn from them and you can know much more. It's your boy Kaka Jonito USA. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. God bless you. Keep watching these videos and give me a thumbs up, and God bless you. Adios. Bye.